Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very special episode of Danny and Sean breaking down the NCAA tournament. This is always coming to you on the Trudge Report YouTube channel at Trudge Report Pod. We're here tonight to recap last night's pretty wild Final Four games. At least the second one was pretty wild, and then a quick look ahead to tomorrow night's NCAA National Championship game. Danny, good evening. How are you, sir?
Good evening, doing good. Yeah, I would say those two games close to the best Final Four in a while, man. I mean, they were awesome.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Where were you? Were you at home? Were you out with friends? What were you
Yeah,
doing watching them last night?
no, yeah, no, I was at home. I was at home watching both of them, and
Nice,
I was deeply in it, man. I mean, both those games were just tremendous games, and
nice.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was really I was on the phone with Mr. Mark last night, and I was telling him, I was like, my gut is saying Auburn was the better team. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
just
I think they showed that in the first half too.
Yep, yep. I don't know. It was just good games. Love basketball, man. Love
Yeah,
it. Final Four, and when you get those good games in the Final Four, because you
yeah,
never know. You never know what
yeah.
it's going to be.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump right into that then. Let's start right there with the Auburn Florida game. Florida edges Auburn. I think it was, what was it, 79, 72 or
73.
something like that, 79, 73.
Yep.
Um, I, you're right. I think Auburn was the more well-rounded team to a certain degree. I think Florida had a little more firepower last night offensively, but in the first half, it looked like Auburn. It looked like it was going to be a 12-point victory, or something like that, right? Kind of coasted, just kind of like they did to Michigan State and Michigan and all that, but they couldn't stop Janai Broom in the first half. He was getting everything he wanted down low. And that seemed to be the difference maker. It honestly, in a weird way, it reminded me of last year with Purdue and Zach Edey. Like,
Yep.
and then the second half, Florida just completely shut off the valve for Janai Broom down low. I think he only had like one or two field goals in the second
Yep.
half, and it reminded me again, like you said, Purdue with their firepower was Zach Edey, and then when you stop him, they're a very beatable team, and that's exactly what it looked like last night. What did you see?
Yeah, yeah, I think that was their game plan, the UConn game plan right there, man, is they, you know what I mean, with players like that, you want that guy to come on in the second half, and they
Right,
let him eat in the first half. So
right,
Auburn goes as their point guards go. Mazzara and Pettiford were carrying them. You know what I mean? They were
right.
shooting lights
Yeah,
out. They did nothing last night. Mazzara had some big baskets and stuff, but I mean, nothing that would, carry the team. So it was pretty much Broom and that's it. And when that
yeah.
happens, then they don't have it. You know what I mean? They depend on those other guys.
And he was clearly hurting that elbow or shoulder or whatever it was. Like, I
Yeah.
know he said he was fine, and Bruce Pearl said he was fine. He was going to play, and I have no doubt he was always going to play.
Yeah.
I just that definitely you saw him wincing a few times. There just was some plays he wasn't super active with it, and it looked like he didn't want to hurt it even more.
No, and it was all on him. He couldn't rest. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
would go in these spurts where they couldn't score, and it was all on him every time. And he was battling down low. And that was like another thing I thought, like going into the game, is that size wise, Florida can match them. You know
hmm,
what I mean? That's usually what's really good about Auburn is they have that dude Cartwright who gets
right,
to play center, so Broom doesn't really have to body inside.
right. Yeah,
And I feel he had a really battle for everything that he got. But
I
those
agree.
point guards, yeah, I don't remember Pettiford. I'm gonna look at the stats. I don't even know what I don't think he did that much.
He definitely didn't, and just like you said, Baker Mazzara had some big shots and some big plays, but he
Yeah,
but he didn't. He had some at the very end. Baker Mazzara,
yeah, he had
the
18 in
one
you.
the one he double dribbled on at the
Yeah,
very end, the 3 point, and he ended up throwing it up, and he made it anyways. I
yeah,
thought was kind of telling, but
yeah.
um, yeah,
Pettif
they
Pet,
didn't.
Pettiford was 1 for 6, 0 for 4 from three, three
Yep,
rebounds, 4 assists, and 7 points.
yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah, not gonna win. Not gonna
It's
win like
nothing.
that.
Nope. And like I said, Janai Broom had all those 15 points. I think he had like 11 or 12 of them in the first half, and that was it.
Yep, yep.
So
Yeah, and I think who else? Yeah, Mazzara ended up with 18, but like I
yeah,
said, they felt like inconsequential buckets. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like when he got those
yep,
points, it was not like they weren't like huge baskets when they needed baskets, really.
I agree. And on the other side, Florida just showed their moxie and their grit, and they did exactly what they did the last couple games. They just kind of hung around, hung around, hung around, and then they just kind of fired. And Clayton Jr. had an unbelievable game, dude. Some of the shots he was hitting, he's really good.
How quick he gets it off is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the biggest. He just sidesteps it. It's
Hmm.
so weird.
Yep. And then Elijah Martin had some huge dunks, dude. Like I'm
He's,
talking like momentum changers, just blew the lid off the place.
he's so
Um,
athletic, man.
so athletic, and that's the kid from FAU. He was in the Final Four with FAU a
Yep.
few years ago. So
Yep.
he's been there. He's got the experience. I thought that was really good. Um, Nobody else for Florida really did a whole lot. The Hawk kid or whatever
Yeah.
had 12 points. Um, they Florida did not seem to take care of the ball very well. They did
No.
turn the ball over, so that's a little, and against a tough Houston team they're going to face tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing, but credit to them, man. They hung tough and they did what they needed to do, and they're going to the national championship.
Yeah, like I told you, man, I don't know what it is. That's like I told Mark, I think they were down what 10 at the half,
Yeah, yeah,
Florida was. And I was just saying, I was just like, it's just something about, Florida keeps getting in these close games and things keep happening where they keep coming back. When you have a title run, things like that happen.
yeah.
You know what
It's
I
true.
mean? And that's like I feel that from them. You know what I mean? I really
Yeah,
do.
it's true. It is true. So good on them. And then to the next game, dude, the Duke Houston game. What a wild, wild ending. I saw a stat that with with that 34 seconds down by six, Duke had like a 94% chance probability to win that game. Something
Yep.
crazy like that.
They
Let's
showed it they showed it in time lapse, like from like one
Yeah,
minute to as it changed.
let's start with Duke. What did you see or didn't you see with Duke?
I mean, for me, I thought what was huge, like it's back to the same thing for me as those role players. What's his name? Tyrese Proctor, the point guard. He
Yeah,
he didn't hit any threes. You know what I mean? I don't know if he hit any threes at all. And he's been carrying them, obviously Cooper Flag, but Proctor's been lights out, scoring almost 20 points a game. And he didn't do that last night.
right,
And I feel
right.
like at this time of year, man, those role players are everything. Your
I
guys are
agree.
gonna get your stuff, gonna get their stuff, but those role players are huge.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Duke is young, right? Obviously, they have a lot of freshmen, like you said, and Proctor is a vet, obviously, but Duke is young. Um, Early in the season, Flag and some of those freshmen, Malawach and the other freshmen, they had some games where they really got like the moment. At some of those games, they still won, but a couple games early in the year, they didn't protect the ball. They showed their freshmanness, so to speak, and how young they are. And I thought that's kind of what happened. I mean, we'll get to Houston, trust me, because they're my pick to win it all.
Yeah.
But in a game like that, Houston went out and got it, but you like Duke did kind of give it. They choked it up a little bit. You know what I mean? At the
Yeah.
same time, and I think that has to happen. You have to have a little help from the other side when that happens. Um, the crazy part is Duke scored 34 points in the first half and 33 points in the second half.
Yeah.
So even though, but here's the crazy part: Houston only allowed Duke one field goal in the last 11 minutes, right?
Crazy.
So that means the rest of they were scoring a flurry of points in the
Yeah.
beginning part of the second half,
Yeah.
right?
They should put up 60.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
So, but Houston scored 42, so they kind of came alive offensively because they were not playing well offensively in the first half. Um, I thought Cooper Flag got a good shot off at the end. That kind of turnaround little jumper. I think he hits that probably 50% of the time, if not more.
Yeah.
I don't know if the over the back call on him at the end was,
No, it's probably yeah.
let him
But you
play.
want
You know what I mean?
I feel like it evens out though. Dude's a 60% free throw shooter. You
Yeah.
still gotta make them.
Yes, and he did, and Juwan Roberts did, and
Yeah.
that's
It,
big
it
time.
wasn't like he sent like a
Right.
94% free throw
Yeah.
shooter. You know what I mean? So like that's what I feel like that
Yeah.
call was awful, but I feel like that. You know what I mean? That guy makes it, you tip your cap.
Right. I think the fact that Duke is so young, I think that just got to him at the end. I really do. They played a
I,
a, a tough, tough
yeah.
veteran Houston team that's been there, that's well coached, had the best defense in the league, and just has a freaking way to, will themselves to victory.
Dude, you could see it, and that's why he missed that final shot. is that they were playing men
Mm,
and those men tired them out. That's why they
100%.
didn't score a bucket in the last 10 minutes because they had no legs.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
see it. You know, they were
Yeah.
fighting so hard to get open. Cooper Flag was doing dipsy do, triple indies and layups in the first half and stuff. But all that energy they exerted, you could see it.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
were, they were just beaten, man.
It
And then
was
I
it was
think
unreal.
yeah, and I think Shire lost them the game. I think as soon as I felt it, man, when they did it, as soon as they started walking the ball up the court and slowing the game down into
Right.
Houston's game plan, I was like, they're coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild, and like, all credit to Houston. Um, Steph Curry just hit a half court 3-pointer at the end of this first half. So
I love watching him,
I
man.
know, dude. I got the game on, but anyways, so um, Houston, like, Kelvin Sampson had a quote earlier in the night about something to the effect of, and I'll paraphrase, like, all we got to do is stay in the game and keep it relatively close. And essentially, what he was getting at, even though he didn't say this outright, was like, their being rookies is
Yeah,
it's gonna show down the stretch, and like, we're prepared for that. And all credit to him, man. I mean, I mean, the even they're down by 5, and the Tugler kid gets the technical because he reaches across the line when they're trying to
I
inbound. It's
thought
like,
it was
oh man,
over. I was like,
what are
it's
you doing,
over.
dude? Yeah, what are you doing? Couple big threes prior to that, right?
Yeah,
And then he makes the free throw. They're down 6, and then just another big three, and then they steal the next inbounds pass to get it in, and what's his name misses the three, and then
yeah,
they get the rebound. Tugler gets the rebound and puts the dunk back, and it was just like, I don't know, it was just a wild sequence of events, and
it
all
was.
credit to Houston, man. What a
Yeah,
like, what a gutsy. I think Houston's going to win. I know you said earlier you
yeah.
think Florida's going to roll them. I don't know, man. I think Houston's going to win. I think they did not have a great offensive night. If they have a halfway decent offensive night and their defense shows up like that, those Florida boys didn't look. They looked struggle bus sometimes
Yeah.
under some heavy Auburn pressure, and Houston's going to bring that times two.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't know. Like I said, man, it's just something about him. And then also, like I said, Duke, I really didn't expect it, but Kelvin Sampson was like completely 100% right. Duke's been in no close games. They've
Right.
rolled through
Right.
everybody. And they
Yep.
also played in the ACC. So they've been in no close games at all,
Yeah,
like
I agree.
all year, really. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Besides maybe in the beginning of the year. And
Yeah.
Florida has been. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Florida's been in
Oh,
non
100%. They've
close
been
games.
in a freaking juggernaut of an SEC.
And also Clayton's not a
I
rookie.
was just gonna say, and not only is he not a rookie, but Florida has Clayton.
Yeah,
I know LJ Cryer is, but LJ Cryer is not quite the same
yeah,
caliber of player that Clayton is. They have a Clayton, right? And then they have Condon, and then they have,
yeah,
Elijah Martin, who is really, I think, the linchpin to all of it. So we'll see. We will
yeah.
see. So your official pick is Florida?
Yeah, yeah. My official pick is Florida. I think, like, I don't know why, just inside, man. I know you think I'm crazy, but I just think
No,
they
no.
roll. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
just really feel like, that Houston beating Duke is like their national championship.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like they might come out flat. And if they struggle like they do offensively, I don't think they stand a chance against Florida because, like I said, Florida's been in these games. And this is, is Clayton a senior? I think he's a senior, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So this is his I mean, he might put up 40, man, 50. I mean, he's got that
He's
ability.
nasty. Yeah, he is. He's nasty. I'll
Yeah.
give him
But
that.
then
So
but then Houston's Houston, man. All they gotta do is hang around. That's
they're
the
Houston,
goal.
and again, Uzan didn't have a great game. Cryer
Yeah,
had a good game.
yeah, he
Obviously,
did.
the Sharp had a decent game.
Yeah,
17 or 18 points. So I think, again, I think if those guys, Houston was the best 3-point percentage shooting team in the NCAA this year. They
yeah,
didn't put up nearly as many threes as a lot of other teams like your Alabamas and your BYUs, but percentage wise,
yeah,
and last night they didn't. Last night they
yeah.
weren't great from three. So I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a
I
good
think
game.
I think
I hope
they gotta get from all three, man. Sharp,
Uzan
Uzan
and,
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 and
and
Crier.
Crier.
Yeah, I agree. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
because that opens up Roberts down low. You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah,
thing is like really their
yeah,
only offense the whole first half was Roberts down low.
and he's really the heart and soul of that team.
Yeah.
He really
Dude,
is. Fifth
dude,
year
how about the
senior, dude.
clutch free throws, man? I mean, that was legendary. And then
From
after
a
the first one, he's telling everyone to calm down, da, da, da. And he's just like no big deal. I got this.
Yeah, from not a great 3-point shooter. You're right.
I mean,
So
that was just so legendary. That was like literally like having Samson on the court, man. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
he's
yep,
like an extended coach.
yep. I agree. So very good. Well, that's all I got, man. You
Yeah.
got anything else you want to add to anything? Let's see
No,
what
no,
happens
I
tomorrow.
hope like I said in my gut, I think Florida rolls them, but I'm really hoping that you know what I mean, it's a really good game.
Well, real quick, I agree, but real quick, shout out to your Yukon women Huskies.
Yeah,
I know
rolling.
the men didn't go through this year, but the
Yeah,
women absolutely rolled South Carolina today. So shout
yeah,
out to the Lady Huskies. And
absolutely.
how do you say his name? Gino Ariama?
Gino Oriema.
Ariama. What a freaking legend he is, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, he's
Unbelievable.
I mean I watched the whole game and they just shut him down.
Wasn't
And
even clear. It wasn't. It was
no,
over
yeah.
right before it began.
Yeah, South Carolina was
So
overrated. You know, they played a
yeah,
defense, they couldn't score. It was but it was yeah, it was good to watch. UConn still gets one, 3 in a row.
there you go. There we go. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you listening. Remember to like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel at Trudge Report Pod. Send it to anyone you might think might be interested. Also, don't forget to check out the main podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And also, please rate, share, and download those. We will be back with an NCAA recap, even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes. We will not leave you hanging. We'll make sure we recap. We'll finish it out strong, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I just hope it's a great game.
Yeah, I hope that staying up late is worth it.
Yeah, that too. I'll say 2008 was the last time we had all number one seeds.
Yeah,
It was also in San Antonio, which is where it was last night,
yeah,
and that was the second year that the Florida Gators won under Billy Donovan. They won in '07 and '08, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That was the
yep.
team with Joakim
Joakim
Noah and
Noah.
all those guys. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Premonition, maybe we'll see, but they
yeah,
got to go up against a tough veteran Houston team. So
yeah. No, it should
we'll
be
see.
good, man. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a tough battle. And it's in San Antonio. Got a little bit of a
Mhm.
home crowd.
Yep, true that. Good point.
So,
So we'll see. But all right, people. Thank you for listening. Trudge on. We'll see you next time.
adios.